Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video. Last week I showed a trade on the New Zealand Canadian dollar pair that Darko pointed out to our members over a month ago. I think close to a month and a half now. And that was the trade was still ongoing, and I showed a target that Darko suggested. So I'll show you the completed trade in this video, and folks, I have to tell you, this is going to be yet another winning month for Darko's longer term trading service. So congrats to Darko on that. It's been really good. You know, it's our hope that these videos inspire you and show you what's possible. So we sure hope that you like them. And if you do, just let us know by hitting the like button, and be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the button in the bottom right corner of the video. Okay, let's see how this New Zealand Canadian dollar pair finally played out. Okay, so again, let's just go over, this is the New Zealand CAD pair, and let's just go over to kind of review what we did here. I'll bring up based on a higher time frame observation. And by the way, at the end of this video, there's a link to last week's video where this is all explained in more detail. But in any event, Darko bought it at this level right here, which was a really good level following all of this daily price action in here. And he needed about 125 pip initial risk. But some of our traders did this a little bit differently, using a pattern on the 4 hour, which I'll bring up right here. On this pattern right in here, this is a really good, this is our swing break rotation pattern. And they bought it right down in here. And they only needed about a 60 pip initial risk. So pretty good. You can, and again, you can listen to last week's video to get all the details. And there's at the end of this video, there's a link to it. So the question I asked is, and I think we were in this area right in here last week, I said, what would you do with this trade? If you had this on, what would you do? One of the challenges with long-term trading is holding these positions to their targets, right? And the target we pointed out was on the weekly chart, and we used the weekly because our 4 hour was the entry time frame, and the target was right here. I'll come back to that in just a minute here. Okay, so again, the question, like, what do you do here? All right, so what happens is when price starts to move up and pull back and move up and pull back like this, these pullbacks can really start to cast doubt. Okay, and you can start to think, well, maybe this thing's done. The thing that you don't want to be doing with these trades is taking very small profits compared to your initial pit risk. That's just a losing formula. And so, like I say, when it pulls back like this, and all these pullbacks, and you think, this is it, this thing's over with, I'm not going to get out of this thing, and usually you end up getting out like here, and it goes straight up. You know how that goes, right? But what you can do, one of the techniques you can use in order to preserve profit, is to simply use swing low points as places to move your protective stop up to. And because this is a longer term swing trade, we use this 4 hour chart. And you can see these distinctive waves that go like this, right? And how do you know which ones to put your stop underneath? Well, the way that you know is by using the advanced market flow that Darko introduced back in 2017. It is really, really effective for this. And so your stops would be going under places like here and here. And this is the same level, so nothing to do there. Under here, and under here. And well, actually, you end up getting out for your target up here. So, and that way, when you're doing this, you're preserving, like, you're not going to see the thing all fizzle away on you, right? You're going to preserve capital. If price does go against you, you're still going to make a pretty good profit. Now, the final target, which I showed in last week's video, was around 84.16. I just showed you that on the weekly chart. Let's go back to that, which is right here, right there. Really good level. Okay, so you might look at this. Let's zoom this in. You might look at it and say, well, it didn't quite make it there, right? 84.16-ish, it never made it, right? And so you're correct, it didn't. But here's the thing. We always advise our traders to take a little bit off of the final target if it makes sense to do so, and usually it does. We just say take it off, and don't try to get the very last pip out of these things, because this can happen where it can just miss it. In this case, it was, and let me go back to my, I'll go back to the 4 hour just so you can get a little bit better view of it here. Here was the final target from the weekly chart, and it missed it, right? 84.16. Okay, so in this case, a very logical place to take profit was about 16 pips ahead of that. Now, I didn't just make that up. 16 pips ahead of it is at the figure level of 8,400. The round number 84, which was right, well, right here. It was just before, price poked through it and then came straight back down again. Figure levels are the big even numbers like 8,100, 8,200, 8,300, and so on. And they are well known to be reaction levels under certain circumstances. And for this trade, when you get that close to your target and you're at the figure, it's a great level to take a profit. I'm not, like I say, I'm not saying that in hindsight. I know people that took profits at that level. So for the entry that Darko had right down on here, this was his entry up to that level, was just shy of a 3-to-1 reward risk, about 350 pip profit. And we had some of our members who took the trade down here using this 4-hour level. For them, with only a 60 pip, initial pip risk, this thing was up over 400 pips, unscaled, for more than a 6.5-to-1 reward risk, which is, pretty outstanding. So there you go. Just a really nice winning trade, no matter how you entered the trade, like the way that Darko did at that level, or the one that some of the other members entered at using the 4-hour chart. But the main thing to take away from this is that, once again, the pending order levels that Darko shows to our members in advance has paid off really nicely every single month this year, except for one, which was a very small losing month, and then November, which will be yet another really nicely winning month. Alrighty, thank you so much for listening in. We really appreciate it. Hope you all have a great weekend, and be sure to let me know if you have any questions at all. Happy to help. All right, take care.